Um, I am out of breath. I ran here. I left my shoes 2 blocks back because the rubber was slowing me down and I needed to get to you before the sound of my own heartbeat drowned out what I have to say. Virgo, someone is running, not jogging, not walking fast, running toward you right now. While you are reading this, while you are stirring your tea or scrolling on your lunch break or pretending to listen to a meeting, their legs are eating up the distance between where they were and where you are. And they are not stopping for red lights. They are not stopping for doubt. They are not stopping to check if this is a good idea because that station is miles behind them and the platform is on fire. If your throat just closed, if your hand moved to your chest without your permission, if you know exactly who I am talking about, or if you are terrified that you might, do not scroll. Do not look away. Hit that like button with the same force you would use to hold a door open against a wind that wants to slam it shut. Subscribe to this channel because this is the only place where the news arrives before the knock. And drop the word impact in the comments. Not because I need the engagement, because you need to prepare your body for a collision that is going to rearrange your bones. Now, I need you to understand velocity, real velocity, not the metaphorical kind, not the slow drift of feelings that build over months like sediment in a river. I am talking about the physics of a human being who has reached their terminal decision, the exact speed at which a soul converts potential energy into irreversible motion. This person woke up this morning or yesterday morning or in the middle of a night that felt like any other night until it suddenly did not, and they understood something with the clarity of a bone breaking. They understood that they are in love with you. True love. Not the kind that flirts and waits. Not the kind that circles the airport hoping for permission to land. Not the kind that sends shouldn't into texts and reads the room and adjusts its temperature to match the comfort of the crowd. True love. The kind that stands up, puts on its shoes, and starts moving. The kind that does not ask the universe for a sign because it has become the sign. The kind that converts every previous hesitation into fuel. And Virgo, they are coming fast. Let me tell you exactly how fast. They have already cleared their schedule. That is the first thing that happens when true love shifts into motion. The calendar, which used to be a fortress of obligations and polite commitments and reasons why next week or next month or next year might be better, has been wiped clean. They looked at their appointments and saw them for what they were: insulation, padding, material placed between their heart and the truth to keep the impact from hurting. And this morning, or last night, or in that sudden hour when the clock stopped making sense, they reached out and they tore the insulation away. They canceled the dinner. They postponed the trip. They told their boss they needed a personal day without explaining why, because the explanation would have sounded like madness. They told their friends they would not be at the thing, the gathering, the tradition, the standing engagement that has defined their social life for 3 years. They said no to everything, not because they are irresponsible, because they are finally responding to the only yes that matters. Then they packed. Not much. True love travels light. It does not need 3 outfits and a backup plan. They threw a toothbrush and a change of clothes into a bag that has seen better days. And they did not fold anything because folding takes time, and time is the one currency they are no longer spending on anything but you. They might be in a car right now, the odometer spinning, the radio off because music would be a distraction from the sound of their own blood. They might be on a train watching the landscape blur into stripes of color that mean nothing because the only landscape they care about is the one that contains your face. They might be walking, actually walking miles, through weather that does not matter, through neighborhoods that blur together, through the accumulated small resistances of a world that keeps asking where they are going and why they are in such a hurry. And when people ask, when the Uber driver or the ticket agent or the stranger in the next seat makes polite conversation, they say the truth or some version of it. I am going to tell someone I love them. Just like that. No preamble, no softening. The statement lands like a stone in a still pond, and the ripples are visible on the faces of everyone who hears it, because most people do not do this. Most people wait. Most people calculate. Most people send a text and hope the other person reads between the lines. But this person is done with lines. They are done with angles. They are moving in a straight path from their heart to your door, and the path is getting shorter by the minute. I need you to understand what happened inside them to create this speed, because people do not run toward other people without a catalyst. Something detonated. Something finally burned through the last rope that was holding them to the dock of their old life. Maybe it was a conversation with someone who asked them why they were still single, and the answer they gave out loud sounded so hollow that they could not bear to hear it echo. Maybe it was a moment of physical crisis, a health scare, a near miss on a highway, a sudden, violent reminder that the time they thought they had is not actually theirs to budget. Maybe it was watching you, seeing you across a room or across a screen or across the distance that they have been maintaining out of fear, and realizing with a physical sensation that felt like falling that you were not going to wait forever, that your life was moving forward, that your orbit was attracting other planets, that the space they had been occupying in their own imagination, as eventually was about to be renamed, never. Whatever the catalyst, it worked. It burned clean. There is no residue of hesitation left in their system. They are not running toward you with a question. They are running toward you with an answer. The answer is yes. Yes to you. Yes to this. Yes to the complicated, terrifying, exhilarating reality of building a life that has you in the center of it. They have already decided. The decision is what is propelling them. And that is why they are coming so fast. Because when a decision is absolute, the body follows without negotiation. Now let me describe the exact texture of what is about to happen to you, because you need the map, or your mind will try to convince you that you are hallucinating. In approximately 12 hours, or 6, or 2, depending on the distance they are currently closing, you are going to receive a signal. It might be a knock at a door you did not expect anyone to be behind. It might be a phone call from a number you recognize, but that has never called you at this hour. It might be a text that simply says, I am outside, or I need to see you, or do not make plans tonight. The message will not contain a question. It will not ask if you are free. It will not request a convenient window. It will assume that you are available because the person sending it has already decided that nothing else on your schedule could possibly matter as much as what they are about to say. And that assumption, Virgo, that breathtaking, borderline arrogant certainty that their arrival takes precedence over your ordinary life, is going to trigger something in you. Something ancient, something that has been waiting for someone to treat your heart like an emergency. When you open the door, or answer the call, or look up from your phone to find them standing in front of you because they could not even wait for you to respond, you are going to see a person who has been transformed by motion. Their hair will be wrong. Their clothes will be wrinkled from the speed. There will be a flush in their cheeks that has nothing to do with makeup or weather and everything to do with the fact that their cardiovascular system is still trying to catch up with their spirit. Their eyes will be too bright, too focused. They will look at you with the intensity of someone who has been staring at a photograph for months and is now seeing the three-dimensional original, and the contrast is overwhelming them. They will not have a speech prepared. Not really. They might have rehearsed sentences in their head during the journey, but now that they are here, now that you are actually in front of them, the words will scatter. Because true love, when it arrives at full speed, does not need a script. It needs a witness. And then they will speak. The words will not be poetry. They will not be polished. They might be clumsy. They might stumble over each other. They might come out in the wrong order because adrenaline has rewired the speaker's brain, but the content will be unmistakable. They will tell you that they are in love with you, not that they have feelings, not that they care about you deeply, not that they think there might be something here. They will use the words, the big, heavy, terrifying words that cannot be taken back once they are spoken in your presence. They will say, I love you, and you will be pointed directly at your chest like an arrow that has finally found its target. They will say, I want to be with you, and the be with will mean everything. Waking up, making decisions, building, staying. They will say, I am done waiting, and the done will be absolute. A door closing on every version of their life that did not include you. You will feel a sensation that your body does not have a name for. It will not be butterflies. Butterflies are too gentle for this. It will be more like a herd of something large and wild moving through your rib cage. Your hands might shake. Your vision might narrow. You might feel the urge to sit down very suddenly, not because you are weak, but because gravity has just increased. Your mind, that beautiful, relentless, overprocessing Virgo mind, will immediately begin generating objections. It will say, this is too fast. It will say, we need to talk about logistics. It will say, what about your job, your home, your responsibilities, the 1,000 practical threads that need to be woven before anyone can just declare love and expect it to stand. And those objections are not wrong. They are your gift. Your ability to see the architecture of reality is what makes you trustworthy. But in this moment, Virgo, in the exact second when the words are hanging in the air between you and this breathless, disheveled, absolutely certain human being, I need you to do something that will feel like a betrayal of your own nature. I need you to silence the objections, not forever, just for 60 seconds, just long enough to let the truth land. Because here is what is actually happening. This person is not being impulsive. They are not being reckless. They are not having a breakdown or a midlife crisis or a temporary episode of poor judgment. They are being honest, brutally, finally, irreversibly honest. The speed is not a symptom of immaturity. It is the sound of a dam breaking. It is the accumulated pressure of every day they spent pretending they were fine without you. Every night they went to bed telling themselves that tomorrow they would do something about it. Every week that turned into a month, that turned into a year of waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment never came. So they manufactured it. They created it out of sheer force of will. They looked at the calendar and said today, and then they moved. The speed is not carelessness. It is the opposite. It is the most profound form of care. It is the decision that your heart is too important to be kept waiting one more day. I also need you to understand that they are not asking you to match their speed. They are not demanding that you drop everything and run alongside them into a future you have not had time to inspect. They know you. They know that your love is not a sprint. Your love is a structure. It requires blueprints and permits and a foundation that can bear weight. They know this because they have been watching you. They have seen you build your life with the patience of an architect, and they are not asking you to tear the building down. They are asking you to open the door and let them inside. They are asking you to consider a renovation, an addition, a new wing. They are handing you the blueprint they have drawn in their own blood and sweat and sleepless nights. And they are saying, I am ready to build whenever you are. But they needed you to know, they needed you to hear the words in the air, in their voice, in real time, before another day passed in the suffocating silence of unspoken truth. And Virgo, let me tell you something about the state they are in right now, because it matters. They are terrified. Do not mistake the speed for confidence. Underneath the velocity is a fear so primal it would make them shake if they were not moving so fast. They are afraid that they are too late. They are afraid that your heart has closed. They are afraid that while they were waiting, someone else arrived at your door with a quieter knock and was invited inside. They are afraid that their grand, dramatic, borderline cinematic gesture will be met with your famous composure, your polite but immovable boundaries, your gentle but absolute no. That fear is the engine. That fear is what is pressing the accelerator to the floor, because they would rather crash into the wall of your rejection at full speed than spend one more day in the purgatory of not knowing. You need to know what to do when they arrive, not because you owe them anything. You do not owe them a yes. You do not owe them a kiss or a commitment or a promise to match their intensity with your own. But you owe them your presence. You owe them the respect of hearing the words without deflecting them. When they say I love you, do not say you are just stressed. When they say I want to build a life with you, do not say let us be realistic. When they say I am done waiting, do not say I need time to think. You can take time. You can think. You can process. But do not use those needs as weapons to push them back across the distance they just crossed. Do not punish their courage with your caution. If you need space, ask for it after you have acknowledged the magnitude of what they have done. Look them in the eye. Say, I hear you. Say, this is a lot. Say, I need a moment to feel this. But let them see that you feel it. Let them see that their words did not bounce off your armor. Let them see that the arrow found its mark, even if you are not yet ready to pull it out and examine the wound. If you love them back, if your heart is already rising to meet theirs before your mind has finished its risk assessment, then do not hide it. Do not make them work for it. Do not make them prove themselves for weeks because you are afraid that easy acceptance will make you look desperate. They have just run a marathon across their own fear to hand you their heart. If your heart is saying yes, take it. Take it with both hands. Say, I love you too. Say, I am scared. Say, I do not know how this works, but I want to find out with you. Let the words be as clumsy as theirs. Let the moment be imperfect. Let the tears come, if they come. True love does not require eloquence. It requires contact, skin against skin, voice against voice. The physical, undeniable proof that two people have finally stopped pretending they are alone. If you do not love them back, if your heart is steady and your feelings are clear and the answer is genuinely no, then be swift, be kind, be devastating in your gentleness. Do not let them stand in your doorway with their chest heaving and their hope naked, while you search for a soft way to say what cannot be softened. Tell them the truth. Tell them that their courage is seen. Tell them that their love is real and valuable, and that the failure is not in their offering, but in your capacity to receive it, and then let them go. Do not keep them on the porch of your life because you are afraid of being cruel. The cruelest thing is hope without harbor. Give them the clarity they need to turn around and run back toward a future that does not include you. They will survive. They are strong, but they cannot survive on a diet of maybes. Now, I want to talk about the next 48 hours, because regardless of what you say when they arrive, the arrival itself changes everything. The air in your home will be different after they have stood in it and spoken those words. The space around your heart will be different after it has been asked to hold something this heavy, this suddenly. You will dream differently tonight. You will wake up tomorrow with a new coordinate on your map, and you need to be ready for the physical aftermath. Drink water, eat something. Sit down even if you do not feel dizzy. The body processes emotional velocity the same way it processes physical velocity, and you are going to need grounding. Put your feet on the floor. Feel the weight of your bones. Remind yourself that you are still here, still solid, still Virgo, even if the world has just tilted on its axis. I also want you to understand that this is not the end of a story. It is the beginning of a conversation. If you say yes, there will be logistics. There will be the complicated, beautiful, frustrating work of merging two lives that have been running on separate tracks. There will be misalignments. There will be days when the speed that felt romantic in the beginning feels overwhelming in the maintenance. There will be moments when you miss your solitude. When you miss the simplicity of a schedule that answered only to you, those feelings are not signs of a mistake. They are the natural friction of two objects occupying the same space. Love is not the absence of difficulty. It is the decision to move through difficulty together without retreating to your separate corners. If this person is who I believe they are, they know this. They are not expecting a fairy tale. They are expecting a partnership. They are expecting your standards. They are expecting your meticulous, exacting, occasionally exhausting Virgo nature. And they are running toward it, not away from it. They have had the soft, the easy, the convenient. They are done with it. They want the real thing. They want the version of you that reorganizes the pantry without being asked. They want the version of you that needs 24 hours to process a surprise. They want the version of you that says, "This does not work for me," and means it. They have seen all of it. They have measured it against every other option, and they have decided that your complexity is the only geography they want to inhabit. So here is what you do right now. You stop what you are doing. You look at the door. You look at your phone. You look at the window. You become aware of the space around you as a place where something is about to arrive. You clear a surface, not because they will judge your mess, but because you need to feel ready. You need to signal to your own nervous system that you are not a victim of surprise, but a participant in it. You wash your face, you change your shirt if the one you are wearing has a stain, not for them, for you, so that when you open the door, you feel like the person you actually are, not the person who got caught off guard. And then you wait, not anxiously, not pacing, just present, aware. alive to the fact that the next knock, the next ring, the next vibration in your pocket could be the sound of your life dividing into before and after. Do not rehearse your reaction. Do not script your acceptance or your rejection. The words will come when the moment arrives. Trust your body, trust your breath, trust the part of you that has been waiting for someone to care enough to run. They are closer now. The miles are disappearing. The obstacles are falling behind them like shed clothing. They are thinking about your face. They are rehearsing the words one more time, even though they know the rehearsal will not survive contact with your actual presence. They are afraid and they are moving anyway, which is the only definition of courage that has ever mattered. Get ready, Virgo. Not by changing, not by preparing a performance, just by being there, by being present, by being the person they have been running toward exactly as you are. When the door finally opens and the truth finally speaks itself out loud, they are almost here.